The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, this is Jennifer Schaus coming to you live from Washington, D.C., and we are in week 5 of our government contracting webinar series. Thanks everybody who took time out of their day to join us, as well as Ali Paskin, who's going to be discussing section L and M of the proposal. So thanks, Ali, for joining us today. A little bit about our webinars. You can find them all on our website. They are all complimentary and they are all recorded. So if you've missed anything from the previous weeks or previous years, or you're unable to attend any of the upcoming webinars, you can find them on our website under the webinar section. The library of recordings is below the current schedule, and they are segmented by topic. A little bit about us. We're based in downtown DC, provide various services for both product and service companies that are selling to the federal government. Our services include proposal writing, capability statements, 8A certification, GSA schedule, contract compliance, and other a la carte services for contractors. We host various events, webinars, and seminars throughout the year. You can find them on our website under the events section, or you can sign up for our newsletter, which will push out every Monday morning, alerting you of other events and seminars that are happening in the government contracting industry. A little bit about me here, but more importantly, I'd rather talk about Ali Paskin and get into her presentation on section L and M of the proposal. So Ali, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm excited to hear your presentation, and I'll give the floor to you now. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate the invitation to participate in your webinar series, and I echo your thanks to everyone who took time out of their day to join us. I am excited to share with you some information about mastering sections L and M of the RFP. A little about me. I have a bachelor's in communication from the University of Maryland University College. Most importantly, I have more than 30 years experience in the government contracting arena, primarily working in proposals. I've held every job except graphic artist in that industry, from proposal coordinator to writer to manager to leading a proposal center, and now currently as a consultant. So I hope that my background is helpful to you. My company is Able Solutions LLC. It was founded in 2014 as a way to help small businesses expand and reach new potential customers. And proposal consulting and government contracting consulting is one of the primary services that we offer. And today we're going to talk about mastering sections L and M of the RFP, which is in some circles the most important sections. Section L is often referred to as the instructions to offerers or the proposal preparation instructions, the PPI. It defines the specific preparation requirements for developing your proposal to the government. An example of the information that you'll find in section L can be how many volumes are they looking for in the submission? What's the outline and required content for each of those volumes? The due date. You can submit questions to the government about any ambiguities or contradictions that you find in the RFP and in between section L and section M specifically, because they don't always match up. Page layout requirements, margins, fonts, type size, the number of pages you can have in each volume, and submission instructions, some of which can sometimes be very detailed. I once worked on a proposal where they actually went down to how many boxes you could use, what size box they wanted, and each box could not weigh more than 20 pounds. So sometimes they get very extremely specific, and it's important to follow everything that they say to the letter. This is an example taken from an RFP I worked on a couple of years ago that gives you an idea of what you'll see in section L. In this case, this example contains 2 of the volumes required in this proposal, and you'll see it has a breakout of what sections they want in that volume, the title of each section, how many hard copies they wanted that volume, soft copies, and the page limit for each specific section. This is another example taken from a different RFP that I worked on, but this gives you an idea of how specific and detailed you can find instructions in section L. For example, in this case, they're talking about the minimum type size is 10-point Arial with spacing not to exceed 46 lines per page. It goes into how they want you to set up the paragraph line spacing in Word, that it's exactly at 10 point. How they want you to signify the page numbering in the volume. They want the volume number and then the page number. And down below in the second paragraph, it goes down into even the titles of your graphics. The very last line there, titles, 10-point Arial bold initial cap, going down into that level of detail. Even when your headings, they want initial cap, not all caps. Section M, if Section L tells you how to prepare and submit your proposal, Section M tells you how the government is going to evaluate your proposal. Government agencies have some leeway in how to score proposals as long as it is consistently applied across all the submitted proposals. And the systems that they usually use are numerical, color-coded, or an adjectival rating. The government evaluators, and this is a point, you'll see I put this point on the slide twice because I think it is very important. The government evaluators who are looking at your proposal can only evaluate proposals using the factors and sub-factors described in Section M. They cannot go on any personal knowledge they have of your company, any personal knowledge they have of anyone bid as a key personnel in your company, any knowledge they may have from news reports. It is strictly what is described in Section M. They cannot go by any other information. So if, for example, you are an incumbent and you're bidding on the proposal and you say, oh, well, we don't have to go into a lot of detail about how we submit monthly reports because we've been doing it for 5 years and they already know how we do it. Now, if the requirement in Section L says, describe how you submit monthly reports, and Section M says you will be evaluated on your process for submitted monthly reports, then you need to go into the detail of who, what, why, when, and how you submit monthly reports. You can't go by, well, they already know because we're in there. They can only go by what is in your proposal as relates to what is described in Section M. Examples of some of the information that you'll see in Section M is the basis for award, the scoring method, the score weighting, whether technical is more important than management and management is more important than past performance, and the actual evaluation process they will use. They'll go into detail as far as, for instance, if it's an LPTA, low price technically acceptable bid, the evaluation process might be, we're going to look at your cost volume first, evaluate who has the lowest price, and once we figure out who has the lowest price, we will then go evaluate that person's technical and management proposal to make sure that they've met the criteria, it's pass, fail, they've given us a warm fuzzy, they know how to do the work, so they're going to get the award. That is the type of information that they'll provide there. This is an example of a basis for contract award that you'll find in Section M. This one, for example, the basis of award is going to be a best value source selection. And once it establishes that, it goes into the details, which AFARs and FAR clauses are, this is applicable to. And it goes into detail as far as that halfway down, you'll see it says the government seeks to award to the offerer, gives the Air Force the greatest confidence that it will meet or exceed the requirements stated in the PWS. This may result in an award to a higher rated, higher priced offerer where the decision is consistent with the evaluation factors and the SSA reasonably determines that the technical and/or overall business approach and/or past performance of the higher price offer outweighs the cost difference. So that's how they're going to evaluate best value and determine which offerer should be awarded this particular contract. This is an example of proposal weighting. This is the section of the proposal I usually joke and tell people you might want to have a bottle of aspirin nearby when you read it, because sometimes it can get very convoluted and takes a while to try to figure out exactly what the ranking is. For example, in this case, it says the relative importance of each factor and subfactor is as follows. Technical, performance, and cost price are listed in descending order of importance. Technical is most important, past performance is second most important, and factor 3, cost price, is last in importance. That sounds pretty clear-cut and straightforward until you read the next sentence. However, cost price will contribute substantially to the source selection decision. Well, wait a minute, you just told me cost price is the least of importance, but now you're telling me it's going to contribute substantially to your final decision. So sometimes you have to try to weigh and check the nuances of what they're saying to determine exactly how they're going to weigh the different factors and subfactors in your submitted proposal. This is an example of the ratings definition. In this case, this is a color-coded ratings. And in this situation, of course, you always want to strive to be the blue proposal, the outstanding proposal. And it provides the description of what you need to meet, what criteria you have to meet to be labeled that blue proposal. Exceptional approach and understanding of requirements, multiple strengths, no deficiencies, low risk. This is exactly the criteria the evaluators are going to use, and it is based on this ranking that they'll decide to whom to award the contract. This is another example. This was for past performance, and instead of color coding, this is being rated by relevancy. Is the past performance very relevant to the work that is being requested in this RFP, or is it not so relevant? That will help determine as well, depending on that weighing factor, how high and how important past performance is in their decision to who to award the program to. So it's always important to look very carefully at these rating systems that are provided in the Section M, because it can provide you a very, very detailed and insight into what their thinking is going to be. My best suggestions that I can make to you is follow the instructions. If they're asking for something a certain way, it's because they want it a certain way. Even if it doesn't make any sense to you, it's how they want it, so that's how you need to do it. Read and reread the sections and subsections of L&M multiple times. You'll be surprised how many times you can read a requirement and you think you understand what it means, and then one day you just look at it and you suddenly notice a little nuance in the phrasing or a particular word that suddenly makes you look at it in a different light and make you reevaluate yourself how you want to present that information in your proposal. It's very important to follow every detail. If you don't, your proposal will be deemed non-compliant and it will not be evaluated, and your company will lose the opportunity to win the award. There is nothing worse than investing time and precious B&P funds to develop and submit a proposal only to find out you got kicked out of the competition because they found some issue of non-compliance. At this point, I will turn it back over to Jennifer. I thank you very much for your time. I hope this was helpful, gained you a little bit of insight into sections L and M. If you have any questions or would like some more information, please feel free to contact me. I'll be very happy to answer any questions you have or offer any additional insight or feedback that I can. Thank you very much, and Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks everybody who joined us today. Great information on Section L and M. Allie's contact information is on the screen. You can call her directly or email her. Tomorrow we're covering profitability and firm fixed price contracts, and Friday we cover the GSA schedule. Next week, Monday's a holiday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we're covering the 8A certification, teaming and partnering, set-aside contracts, and simplified acquisitions. Again, all of our webinars are complimentary. They are recorded. You can find the full library and the full schedule on our website. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. And thanks again, Allie.
You're welcome. Thank you.